To the education sector, where non-academic staff across the nation's universities may begin an indefinite strike on Thursday. The decision is expected to top the Joint Action Committee's meeting of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities and the Non-Academic Staff Union of Universities. SSANU also faulted the call by South-South governors, telling states to be allowed to pay according to their capabilities. The unions have been protesting non-payment of their withheld 4-month salaries since 2022. SSANU President Muhammad Ibrahim says both unions had written to the Ministers of Education and Labour to facilitate the payment of the salaries. The 2-week ultimatum issued by the unions to the government expires this Thursday. Joining us for more updates on this is the President, Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, Muhammad Ibrahim. Thank you so much for joining us on TVC News at 7. Well, SSANU and NASU gearing up for an indefinite strike in the face of the current economic realities. Some of the view that this is insensitive on your part. How do you react to that?
Well, thank you for having me. And I wouldn't blame those that will feel hot for this decision that we are almost considering to take, because no one would like a disruption in the academic calendar of our universities because we have suffered enough. But people should understand that workers must be motivated, workers must be given their rights and privileges so that they'll be able to impact on the community and on their primary assignments. The major issues here is that the president of this country, President Bola Tinubu, had in October last year granted a waiver to workers in the universities that they should be paid 4 months of the withheld salaries. And we saw that this was paid to a segment of staff working in the universities, our counterparts in the academics, and leaving out 3 of our unions, SSANU, NASU, and NAT. And we had made representations to government thinking that it was an omission that was done probably due to some errors somewhere. But clearly what has happened is that it's like a deliberate attempt, people trying to sabotage the government, because if the president has granted a waiver and directed that payment should be made to workers in the universities, why would you select a group of people and pay and then leave out the rest? So we have made presentations, we have written to the Minister of Education, we have met with him, we have written to Minister of Labour, we have escalated the matter to all the levels of government, but to no avail. And our members are really pressed because facing the economic situation today in Nigeria, any kobo that is yours that is kept away is additional pains that is caused to our families, to our friends, to our own constituency. So this decision is a painful one, and we urge Nigerians, because there's still time, the 2 weeks has not elapsed yet, it will elapse by the end of this week. We still urge Nigerians and all those that matter to call on those that have sat on this approval of Mr. President to kindly release it so that our members will have also the benefit of getting these 4 months salaries that has been approved by Mr. President. This is, if done, will definitely ensure will stop this strike. But anything outside that, I want to assure you that it's something we have been pushed to the wall, and naturally we will have to react this way. It's a painful one.
Right. It does appear, okay then, it does appear that it's only SSANU and NASU that are forging ahead with this. What about NATS? Are you in synergy?
Of course, NAT is an independent union too, and that they have also been refused this. I won't be able to speak on their behalf because I'm not a member of NAT. But in NASU and SSANU, we have a marriage of convenience, and we operate under the umbrella of JAC. And we have written a letter to the Ministers of Education and the Minister of Labour and the Accountant General of the Federation and the Minister of Finance, indicating our willingness to resume the suspended strike. But I'm sure NAT2 is also considering, but they will have their story to tell. But for us, we are ready, and anything short of making these payments will likely create some gridlock within the university system.
Mr. Ibrahim, the new national minimum wage is another issue on the front burner of your campaign this season. But then an amount has not been announced yet, with the president calling for wider consultations before a figure is announced. Don't you think that your members should wait to hear from the federal government on this matter?
Well, the issue of the national minimum wage is also something that is long overdue. As you are aware, the approved rate of 30,000 elapsed in April this year, and that what we expected that government would have been proactive. All consultations should have been done and finished before the expiry of that date. And even after the expiry, the work on the side of the committee is being sabotaged by the government team, because for NLC to have made itself available, and that meetings do not hold as at when due, and that figures that have been put forward are not taken seriously. Clearly, this also shows that Mr. President needs to look deep inside his cabinet and see whether or not those working with him are really interested in making him succeed. Because workers in Nigeria and everywhere are those, oiling the engine of production. They are the ones running the affairs of government. So where you deny them living wage, where you deny them what they deserve to get, naturally you do not expect efficient and effective services being rendered. So the consultation should have come much earlier, and this slow motion movement is not encouraging. And we urge Mr. President and those in power to ensure that without further delay, these figures are announced, approvals are made, and then workers will be able to, get what is due to them. But no worker in Nigeria today is happy with the way things are being done by those in charge of government.
We hope that the Joint Action Committee is able to reach some compromise with government so that the students in our universities can actually go on with their activities. President, Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, Mohammed Ibrahim, thank you so much for talking to us on TVC News at 7.